Here is a complete system we've built after managing 6, 7 and 8-figure brands on Amazon and their advertising, helping them save over 30% of their ad spend, which sometimes equates to over $10,000 a month in wasted ad spend. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete system for finding every negative keyword your account ever needs. This is a mistake that most people make. They download the search term report data, they look at last 30 days, and then they found a few words that they can negate as negative, exact match, etc. The issues they're missing is that some of the search terms, they show up not every day, not every week, but every other week, and over a lifetime of a brand account, that all adds up to a very large number. And what we are seeing here is how most people negate their words is, so example, competitor brand negated exact match type, $8 saved. But if you were to do a negative phrase on this competitor brand, that alone could be over $800 eliminated in lifetime spend. And now we're just talking about one word. What happens if we apply this to your entire account using AI? And this is what I'm about to show you. Now, there is a classification system here, and we have to be very careful about negating words. There is going to be definite negatives such as wrong color, shape, category, etc. There is likely negatives, keywords with high ACOS or low conversion. And there is something that we'd want to review first. And this is going to be the system that you'll use. For example, competitor brand names, these are the obvious negatives. Unrelated categories, like I said, we can add this immediately as account negative phrase byte. And then there is likely to negate branded competitors with high COS, bad terms, etc. In this example, we will be reviewing a skincare brand. And then review first some keywords with very large lifetime orders but high ACOS. Now, this isn't the exact audit we've done for this brand. We spent over $40,000 a month, helping them save about $7,000 a month using this exact system. So what you're going to do is you'll have to download your search term reports lifetime view. If you're not using an app, we like to use AdLabs. You can already go here. You can do entirety of this account we are auditing, which is going to be like almost $400,000 in spend, $350. You're going to download all of this in a very large Excel file and upload this to Claude or any other tool you use. I recommend using Claude. Now, what this is going to come up with, it's going to run a thing here in the background, and it's going to come up with a file that looks like this. There is going to be explanations here. There's going to be base stats, lifetime spend, 30-day spend. And the very first step is, for example, definite negative. So it's anything irrelevant, anything that's you're going to negate. It's going to remove a lot of wasted spend, and it's not going to affect your sales at all. You just have to be a bit careful here, reviewing them one by one, because it's going to be like a deployment of on the entire account. So you just have to be careful when adding this as campaign negatives to your actual account. So as an example, what I can already do here is, and since we also have access to AdLabs, you can use it with any other tool that you use. You can copy all of this, and then you can remove anything that had sales. And let's just see for the entirety of this account, for any search terms containing these phrases, what would it result to? Now, I can already see in the last 30 days that would be 380% ACOS. In the last 60 days, all of the search terms equates to about $1,000 in spend and 900% ACOS. And then over the lifetime view of account, we could have saved $6,000 just from negating these search terms. I'm going to speak on the specific parent level negative lists in a bit, but now let's just dive on what not to negate. Now let's talk about what to negate. When you run this kind of analysis, you want to make sure that since this is a negative phrase, it can potentially cover a lot of profitable search terms. So you need to be careful when you're auditing your account and applying these negatives. Now, we don't want to cover anything with obviously lifetime low ACOS, 18-31%, etc. They're kind of obvious. But we also do not want to negate any search terms, any phrases that result in search terms with high lifetime sales but high COS, because this can be just bit managed. You do not want to reduce negate them from your account. The second part of this is you can also ask AI to review what are all of the products you've been targeting that have not resulted in any sales or their high ACOS performance. So for that, you're going to review another tab here called ASIN negatives. So here you're seeing all of the ASINs that's been targeted, their lifetime spend. There is one that has over $400 with zero sales, $300 with zero sales, etc. So you can safely negate them. So this negative keyword system, it doesn't just cover the words, the one word phrases that can save you a lot of relevant spend, but it's also the asins. Now let's talk about product level negatives. You're selling a skincare brand, you'll have your account level negatives, which is going to be generic words, for example, specific ingredients that are not relevant to you, that none of your products have it in the formula, and so on. And let's say you're only selling creams, so you would want to negate liquid, toner, etc. from all of your campaigns. Now there is a second layer, which is product level negatives, and this is what most people get lazy about. They just apply negatives to the entire list, and then they don't bother checking each individual products. But this is where good PPC managers shine, that they actually review the data, because Amazon PPC is all about search terms, bidding on the good search terms, avoiding showing up on bad search terms, and so on. Let's just talk about the product level negatives that Claude has built for us. So there is going to be one product here, and then there is going to be one word phrases. It's safe to negate. It explains why. This is also safe to negate. And it shows you lifetime spend, 30-day spend, etc. You can also, I recommend you also add lifetime sales, obviously. And you can go and verify this if you have a good naming convention. If you were to add these negatives, what performance it would produce on your actual account. Now here's the process. Like I said, pull the lifetime search data. You can do this through Amazon reports. It's just going to be difficult, and it stores only past 2 months of data. So you'd want to have an access to a tool that can pull the entirety of the account and its search terms. In our example, we use AdLabs. One word phrase analysis, like I said, you can do it with Claude, with ChatGPT, and ask it to give you a total spend and sales across all containing terms. There is going to be 3 classifications, like I said: negate, and then caution, and then do not negate, like what I'm showing here. Does this word appear in your branded search terms, etc.? If it appears, you do not want to negate it. As well as any words that appear in search terms with high SEOs but a lot of sales, you don't want to negate it, you just want to bid manage them. Step 4 is add T1 account wide phrase negative. So if that's anything obvious, and that's again how we are able to save $7,000 for this brand that spends $40,000 a month, and that have zero risk of blocking real traffic. Now anything with $30 in lifetime spend, again, that's depending on your inventory. If you sell $200 products, you'd want to have a difference threshold of, say, at least $200 overall of lifetime spend. For any cheaper products, you are good to go with up to $30, let's say. Just giving an example. And any terms with high SEOs, this is again up to you to set. The last level is ASIN negatives, and you would want to decide what ASINs to negate, and as well as product level negative lists. Again, here are the results of the audit we've done similar to this, and the account we are managing. Premium skincare brand, $40,000 in ad spend, and we are saving them about $7,000 just by doing this kind of audit and implementing the system in the very first days we are managing the account. The most important part isn't about saving all the spend, it's about reinvesting all that money into profitable terms. Imagine you're spending $40,000 and you just freed up $7,000, and that $7,000 goes to keywords that convert well. It's not just you're saving up money, you're also improving your organic rank by spending more on keywords that convert well on your account. So if your tacos is above 20%, that's the first place I would look at. And I guarantee you that's the fastest fix to improve your tacos. Regardless of a brand you sell, of the products you sell on Amazon. The only requirement is for it to be effective. Ideally you're spending at least $500 a day, or anything meaningful that exposes you to a wide variety of keywords that are potentially irrelevant to you. If you find this video helpful, I've published another one right here that talks about 4 SEOs hacks that I would implement on top of this negative account audit that can improve your Amazon advertising performance further. We manage advertising for brands doing $1 to $15 million a year in spend, and if you're one of those brands, my team would be happy to look at your account and perform an audit.